Hogwarts Legacy has been greenlit by Warner Brothers. Yeah, this is a very exciting story because as a fan of the first Hogwarts Legacy, I immediately I was like, man, this game is awesome. With a little tweaks, it definitely could have been Game of the Year. But fantastic game. But so this week it was announced that Hogwarts Legacy is going to be getting a sequel with Hogwarts Legacy 2. And I think a lot of people were like, wow, this is a great story. But there was also like a section of gaming media that I think myself was included that I'm like, this really shouldn't surprise us because Hogwarts Legacy sold a crap ton of copies. Like 30 million copies is what the game sold. 30 million copies. If the game would have sold 10 million copies, we'd still be getting a sequel. The game sold 30 million copies. That's absolutely insane. In fact, there's a stat out there somewhere that I think it's like Hogwarts Legacy was the best-selling video game of 2023, breaking a 14-year streak where the number one video game has either been Call of Duty or a Rockstar video game. So, like, of course Warner Brothers is seeing all this success and they're like, yeah, let's do it again. Now, what I'm interested about here is, like, what do you do, right? So, like, one of the biggest gripes I had about Hogwarts Legacy 2 was there was no multiplayer, there was no, like, living world. While there were other students walking around campus, admittedly, what would have made Hogwarts Legacy 1,000 times cooler is having the ability to see like your friends on campus or just other players on campus getting into mischief or like playing games or like dueling. Like if you added multiplayer, kind of like a GTA Online concept to Hogwarts Legacy, that game would be nuts. And then you talk about like, okay, do you add a Quidditch suite? Like, do we do Quidditch? Do we put a sports mechanic in here where you could have like a multiplayer? And then like, what do you grow that multiplayer into, right? Do you take like, hey, we're going to have a Quidditch suite where you can play against other players playing Quidditch, but then also you can duel. Like you can duel with other players and cast magic. That's where like you could evolve Hogwarts Legacy to kind of minimally and still keep like the core principles of the game, but make it better. And that's what I hope we see. Now that being said, as excited as I am for that concept and for the potential of getting that, we are still 3 to 4 years until we see this game. It might be shorter just due to the fact that like the core basics of the game are built, right? Like the worlds are designed, the mechanics and the coding and the what am I trying to say here? Like the central pillars of the game have pretty much been established, right? So they're just kind of like retuning it, refining it, adding a couple things. So it might not be as long, but other than like it's getting made, we know very little about this game. In fact, Variety broke the news this week, and what they revealed is that it's going to be a follow-up to the second game, and Hogwarts Legacy 2 will have tie-ins to the brand new HBO Harry Potter TV show, which, my God, I'm officially old enough to be like, do we really need a new Harry Potter? But those movies are old, man. Like, Harry Potter has been around for my entire life. Like, my mom says all the time that Harry Potter is the reason I learned to kind of read. I hated reading as a kid. But then we started reading Harry Potter in school, and I was like, "Can you take me to the bookstore? Can you get me a copy of the book?" And ever since then, it's been a massive part of my life. Like I love the books, I love the stories, I love the movies. We went to Universal on Harry Potter weekend. I got the Sorting Hat on me, put me into Slytherin. Heck yeah! Shout out to my fellow Slytherins out there. But I got a wand. I did the whole experience. Like I love the world of Harry Potter, and I want more. So like when you look at a game like Hogwarts Legacy and you think about like, oh, we're getting a sequel, 100% I'm in. Like I want more of this world. I want it to be expanded. I want to see more. And personal story, last week we went to go see, my wife and I, we went to go see Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. My cousin's high school was performing it, and didn't really know much about it because I was like, it's a play. I'm not going to read the script online. Like, I'll wait to having the opportunity to actually see it. And I was kind of moved by the story. I know that's weird to say, but it's like you have these childhood heroes that you grow up with, and you assume that when Harry defeats Voldemort, that it's like happily ever after, right? But then you get this glimpse into Harry Potter as a dad, and you realize, oh man, he's kind of struggling being a father. So like that's tough, but great play. I mean, it was fantastically written, and it's like the more we can get of this world, the more I'm all in. Like I loved The Cursed Child. It was such a cool story seeing all of these guys as grown-ups and then seeing their kids kind of struggle with the same concepts of like, you know, hey, how do we manage this school of wizardry? And knowing that they're going to be expanding it, and like, does that mean if it's going to tie into the HBO series that we're going to get Harry in the game, we're going to get Hermione in the game, like we might get, Dumbledore? Is Dumbledore going to be one of the headmasters while we're in it? Like, that's the stuff that I'm like, okay, 100% in. Like, this is going to work flawlessly. And I think we've always been talking about like hybrid media and these companies trying to buy up properties just to do stuff like this. And this is what we're seeing, right? Like, you're going to watch the HBO series and then it's going to be like, hey, you should go check out the video game. Super cool. Check it out. And then like, you go experience it. And that's the future of gaming that excites me. And yeah, I mean, again, I don't know if there's anyone out there that, I shouldn't say that. There's definitely a group of gamers who are upset by Hogwarts Legacy and Harry Potter being in the news right now. But like, I think the majority of Harry Potter fans, the majority of Hogwarts Legacy players, are excited at the prospect that we're going to be getting a sequel. So yeah, we'll definitely be keeping a close eye on this one, and I cannot wait.